Hello everyone, welcome to my corner of the world. Today I'm sharing another funky fold and this is it. There you go. It's just such a simple fold, but it has such a nice impact, and you can see here that this is the little mechanism that allows it to sort of flip and flop open. So let's go ahead and share how to make. So I've chosen to use the Simply Xenia stamp set and dies with the coordinating papers. And the one I'm going to make in this video, I'm going to use the opposite colours to the ones I already used on the card I just showed you. So I went ahead and I pre-cut my pieces from the dies that are in this set. So I'm just going to quickly put them together so that the adhesive dries while we're doing the fold. So to make it look balanced, you need to, well, for me, you're just going to have the short petals going in sort of the same direction, and we're just going to set this down so that it kind of just sort of fills the gaps there. Let's see, swizzle it around until we've got there. I think that's looking good. Okay, so this is Highland Heather along with oh, it'll come to me in a minute, Melon Mambo. And then the centerpiece I just cut from a little bit of bubble bath. I'm going to stick that in there. And then this little decorative, these are sort of like, this is like the stamens. As I say, all these pieces are in the same die set of dies, and you can build up some really pretty flowers. So there's that. And then we've got these little, this is like a little bud. So we're just going to pop that there. Little bit of adhesive there. And all I'm going to do is line up those that little curvy bit at the end here. And that gives us a nice little flower. Maybe I'll just move that round slightly just so that we can see there. So we can just see the other petals. And then I also cut out a leaf, a stem, and this is like a little leafy stemmy thing for the bud. So just a little adhesive there, and there's the cup piece, I think it's technically called a calyx, goes over the bottom of the bud like that there. So we've got a pretty little flower. So that's that. And then I'm just going to attach this stem, and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive part way down, and I think that's the right way up. So I think it's the short petals go at the top, and we're just going to stick it like that on the back. And then this piece, this leaf will go down when we finish the arrangement. So that's those pieces. And as I say, I did those first because I wanted to make sure that they sort of nicely dried. Then I've got a piece of white. Now all the dimensions for this card will be on my blog, and if you look below this video there's a link and it will take you to the exact blog post for this card. So this is 4 1/4, I think, by 2 3/4, so it's 1/8 of a piece of paper, piece of card. And we're just going to attach or just stamp and I chose a greeting that would fit in the space. So there's a long one, which I suppose I could have used. Let's just see if it will go on there. Actually, it would, but it might interfere with the arrangement of the flower. So I'm going to stick with what I have here. So I'm just going to put thank you, and I'm just going to pop it in this bottom corner and try and get it straight. Like that. Not bad. Right. And that's it. That's all the stamping I have in this card. So that is one piece. And then I've got my card base. Now my card base is 11 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to score it at 2 1/4 and 5 1/2. So there's 2 1/4 there, and then 5 1/2. Just slide it along and do the 5 1/2. Now, in order to get the flappy bit, the bit that sort of flaps back and forth, what we're going to do is let's find the score line. So we're going to cut a strip out of this top part and this part, literally up to that 2 1/4 inch line. And we're just going to cut 5/8. So I'm going to pop my card on the 5/8 mark, like that. And I'm just going to line up. This has a little notch, so make it sure it catches the light. It has a little mark there. That's exactly where the blade is, and it's on both sides of the blade. So I'm just going to position that over the 2 1/4 inch line there. So there's my piece there, and then I'm just going to flip it over and repeat. There. There we go. And then just with a pair of snips, I mean, you could use your cutter for this, but it's only a little bit. And I have overshot slightly because I couldn't get my head exactly over the trimmer, but it's not going to matter. So we're just going to trim those pieces off. I'm just cutting along the score line like that. And that's a scrap, so we can get rid of that. And then you can just fold your card in half. And then this little extra flappy piece, you're going to fold back on itself like that. And there you've got the bones, the basic part. So now I've got some decorative paper. This is 4 by 3, and it's from the Xenia pack, but I chose this sort of non-floral design so that the front panel would really shine and pop out. So we're going to put a piece on there outside and a piece on the inside, and that way when we open it up it looks the same both ways. So let's pop the other one down. Like that. And that's just centered up. And then I have an inside piece. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. So this is the bit where I'm going to write your to you love from me. You could do a bit of stamping, but I have a scrap of that card left, that paper, that's going to fit exactly there. So I'm just going to pop that little piece on my inside liner, like that. And we just make sure that it's lined up. And it's just literally just the teensiest bit too long, but that's fine. It's much easier to trim the excess off than to try and stretch it. I find that that don't work so well. And then I just ease that up. That's the benefit of using like a liquid adhesive, that if it moves a bit or you haven't quite got it lined up, you get a bit of time to make some adjustments. I call it wiggle room. Just a little bit of time to do a little wiggle and to make sure it's in the right place. Right, so let's just, there we go. Make sure that's nicely stuck down. There. So now we've got another piece here. So this is Highland Heather, and that's 4.5 by 3. So I'm just going to attach that to my stamped piece. I should move you out the way so I don't get tape, adhesive on things I don't want to get adhesive on. And then I'm going to attach it to here, and I'm just going to put adhesive on this panel. And it's easier to put it on here because then you know exactly where it needs to go. If you try and put it on the back of this piece, then you're kind of guessing on how much coverage that you need. This is just perfect. And then I'm just going to line up like that. And you'll see that this is the same size. It is the same size here, and it goes to the outer edge of your card. And then we can go ahead and we can put our flower. Now, you don't have to keep the flower in the footprint of this little panel, as long as it doesn't go outside the footprint of your main card. So I could do like this, and then have my leaf come down maybe like that, or maybe come up a bit like that. And I quite like that. So I've got my petals above and a little bit of the stem below. I quite like that. So I'm just going to stick this down with some liquid adhesive. We're not going to use anything other than that. And I'm not going to take it down to the bottom of the stem because that's going to hang over. So we'll pop that like that. And then we'll add some adhesive to the back of the little bud. And this time I will put some adhesive down to the bottom because this is going to stick to the card. So I want to try and sort of get it fairly close to the greeting so I haven't got too much white space. Lovely. And then this is my leaf. And I just need to decide where I'm going to put my leaf. I think I'll put it there. So everything is stuck down with just liquid adhesive. There we go. And then I got my final flourish. So these are purple fine shimmer gems. And I've not used them before. I used them on this card. And so they've got, well, they've got like a light mauve, which is like the Highland Heather. This is probably more of a gorgeous grape, a darker. And then this one, I think is like moody mauve. So I could use any of those on here, and I think that they would go beautifully. So I'm gonna do some light and some dark. So we just scatter them round on this front panel like that. And there we are. So here we got this little flip-flop funky fold, inspired by Jackie Bolhuis. I'd like to thank her for the inspiration. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Just gonna move in a little so you can see the cards better. I certainly appreciate you choosing to spend some time with me. Don't forget, you can put comments and questions below and I'll be happy to read them and answer any questions. And I'd just like to thank you for choosing to spend some time with me today. Thank you, and until next time, bye for now.